again, tell
Sure.
me. So your sergeant, you guys actually you got the bolo, so you know what you're looking for. So he's just out. Is he just out running traffic on 290, or what was he doing?
That's correct. Our officers in the DPS obviously put out bolos, in search of the vehicle, license plates, things like that. Of course, on any event like this shooting occurred, and one of my deputies, happens to be a supervisor, a sergeant, was out on 290 just east of Hempstead and spotted the vehicle traveling down the road. Uh, got behind it, called for assistance, and one of our area local DPS troopers was the closest person and got up there with him. And in the meantime, he had exited off 290 on one of our side roads out here, White Chapel, and they did a traffic stop on the vehicle, and the individual got out of the vehicle with of course what was later determined an AK style rifle, and shots were fired, and both our Waller County unit and the DPS trooper fired, and the individual, what ended up happening was he dropped his rifle and ran into a pasture. It's a rural area with barns, houses, of course, the hay bales and things, and ran from the vehicle and ran off there on the edge of the woods. And of course, our search at that time began with numerous agencies coming out assisting, and the DPS helicopter and DPS aircraft, and he was finally spotted on the edge of the woods, and in the meantime, the Waller County Sheriff's Office SWAT team and Harris County SWAT team had arrived and put a unit together in armored vehicles there on that tree line by the road, and began on a loudspeaker telling them to come out, come out. And he finally stepped to the edge of the woods, and but never would comply. He kept standing there. So our one of our Waller County K9 officers released K9, who ran there across the field and took him down. And of course they handcuffed him, and then it was discovered that the individual did have a wound to his lower left leg, and he was transported to Bryan to a hospital, and it was a wound that went through and through with no bone structure hit, and so he was cleared to hospital and placed in the Brazos County Jail, since the hospital was up there on capital murder charge out of Freestone County. And then, of course, there'll be charges down here, most likely. We were in conference on the phone last night with Elton Mathis, our district attorney, and most likely there'll be charges out of this county. But for right now, he was released back to Freestone County authorities and DPS.
Yeah, so the charges you're thinking about in Waller County would be what, attempted capital murder of a peace officer? Since
Right.
you're correct, he fired at both your sergeant and the DPS trooper that was working with your sergeant to try and arrest him.
Right.
Correct?
The in-car videos and all of that are being retained now, and the individual come out with a rifle and stuff, and firing started. Well, that's attempted capital murder in what we see. And of course, the ultimate decision will be the district attorney's office. But yes, our hopes and plans that there'll be charges here on the local level too. But obviously, the seriousness of the DTS trooper being killed up there, well, that's where he was returned to for right now.
I understand. Okay, and you were saying earlier that you said he had an AK style rifle on it, but you said a rather large drum, like a high capacity magazine.
Right. It appears from the preliminary observation, and this is my observation, not the investigators. Texas Rangers were handling the scene, and everybody doing such an excellent job working together. But the appearance to me of the rifle laying on the ground, it was an AK-47 style, pistol grip style with what looked like a 100-round drum magazine in it.
Okay. Okay. And you said earlier you found out later what prompted the original the original confrontation with the state trooper up in Freestone County. He was wanted. He was
Right.
wanted.
My my understanding that started the original deal, a routine traffic stop had been made, and then this individual had a warrant for him from the Texas Parole Board, what we call a blue warrant, but it was a parole violation warrant with a charge of aggravated assault with a deadly weapon. So, you know, strictly my opinion on it right now, it appears obviously the DPS trooper was, fixing to arrest him on a parole violation warrant when this occurred.
Okay. Yeah, because and correct me if I'm wrong here, the trooper had stopped him, basically ran his information, went back to his patrol
Right,
car, ran his information,
right,
and as he was walking back to the suspect's car is when the shooting
right,
started. Is that correct?
right, right. That's the information that I have. Right.
Okay. Okay. All right. Well, Sheriff, I know that your men and women never want to have to get into a confrontation like this, but you have to be relieved, I would think, that not only was he apprehended, but none of your people and no one else in law enforcement was hurt, or really no other civilians either.
No, absolutely. Our greatest fear, obviously, is you don't want any officer to lose their life, and that's an unfortunate thing with Freestone County and the DPS trooper, and for us here, that the result was the individual has been picked up, and the justice system will work, and nobody else, was injured. And you're in a rural area. You've got citizens in their homes. You've got officers everywhere doing a search for an individual. And yes, the ultimate goal. There are plenty of officers. It sometimes gets too lightly said, but we all want to go home to our families, like everybody does in this world, and we're no different as law enforcement. So, for us in Walter County last night was a good day. Unfortunately, in Freestone County, the other side of this was a very, very bad day. But yes, on our end, we're very happy the way it ended. With no injuries and anything, and a suspect now that's picked up, and we let our justice system work like the country we live in.
Well, sure. And this is my last question. I appreciate you taking the time. One quick point. You said when he walked out of the tree line, he stood at the tree line, but he wouldn't comply with orders, and so the
Right,
canine was
right.
sent. Did he try and run back into the woods when the canine was sent?
Well, the canine officer by then, of course, we had lights out. It was pretty dark. The canine officer was part of the SWAT team that had gotten pretty close. So actually, when the dog was released, he was probably 10 or 15 feet from him. I mean, he was pretty close on the tree line. So I guess the best description, the dog didn't have very far to travel, so he didn't really have a lot. Once we made the decision to release the canine, he didn't really have a lot of time to react, other than the dog grabbed him initially by one of his shoulders, and he went straight to the ground. And of course, the officers ran up there and handcuffed him.
Great. Oh, Sheriff, thank you for your time, sir. I really
Oh,
appreciate it. Thank you very